In today's video, I'll be revealing what 750 retirees said they regret most about working past 60. And it has nothing to do with money. If you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Julia, certified financial planner. And through surveying retirees who worked longer than they needed to, I've discovered that the overwhelming regret is not financial, it's time. Time not spent with family, time missed traveling, time lost chasing a number that just kept changing. And that's exactly why I'm making this video today. My hope is to expose the hidden emotional and financial costs of delayed retirement and show you how to avoid becoming one of the many who look back and say, I didn't need more, I just needed a plan. So let's get into it. A 2015 New York Life study found that nearly half of retirees, 46% to be exact, wish they had retired earlier. On average, they said they would have stopped working 4 years sooner if they had had the financial freedom to do so. This finding, highlighted by Think Advisor, underscores a striking truth. People rarely look back wishing they had worked longer, right? Everybody knows this. They say on your deathbed, what do you want to be known for? It has nothing to do with work, money, etc. Instead, their regrets center on lost time, especially the years when they were healthiest and most active. Many said they missed opportunities to travel, pursue hobbies, spend time with family and friends, while they still had the energy to enjoy it. Among retirees who worked past 60, that feeling was even stronger. More than half in that group said they wish they had stepped away sooner. The study also revealed that while most retirement discussions focus on the risk of outliving one's money, retirees themselves are more concerned about outliving their vitality. Unfortunately, many retirees who delayed retirement realized too late that the years they postponed were the same years their parents were aging or their grandchildren were growing up. Those experiences, holidays together, milestone birthdays, traveling, ordinary afternoons, right, that became really important memories, those fade quickly. Once those moments are gone, no amount of financial security can buy them back. And health is another factor that exacerbates this issue. As energy and mobility naturally decline with age, the vacations that once felt exhilarating become physically demanding. And some opportunities like hiking with adult children, taking a long-anticipated cruise or other vacation, exploring new places, those are past due. Family dynamics also shift over time. Retiring too late can mean missing the period when family ties are the closest and schedules actually align. Parents become more dependent, children move further away, and grandchildren grow busier with their own lives. Ultimately, the window for active, meaningful experiences narrows with every year that retirement is postponed. Now, obviously, you need enough money saved to retire, but I'm really talking to those with more than enough money, right? That are just working longer to reach some random savings number that's far more than they need, like, $2, $3, $4 million, right? This mindset of wanting to see more and more in your accounts can keep you from enjoying the most special years of your life. This brings me to exactly that, and it's called the moving goalpost trap. For many financially ready retirees, the reason they keep working is not a lack of savings. It's the illusion that they don't yet have enough. This moving goalpost trap extends careers by years, even after the numbers already support financial independence. And to be fair, it often begins with reasonable caution. Just work a few more years to be safe, or however you say it. But when markets fluctuate or headlines turn negative, that few more years becomes a repeating loop. New fears emerge, new benchmarks are set, and the definition of enough keeps shifting just out of reach. So what starts as prudence turns into analysis paralysis, right? I love that term. The result is that many retirees hit their financial targets multiple times, right? Only to then raise them again. Media headlines, sometimes even financial advisors, often focused on risk management, fuel this cycle by emphasizing what could go wrong rather than what has already gone right. The security gained from additional savings comes at a steep cost. The irreplaceable years when health, energy, and family connections are at their peak. Over time, these shifting targets can be more destructive than market volatility itself. While the market's ups and downs eventually stabilize, a moving goalpost never does. It keeps retirees trapped in a mindset of scarcity. This constant pursuit of more creates a false sense of safety, masking the truth that financial freedom means nothing if you never claim it. Fear-based planning prevents retirees from enjoying the stability they've already earned. Next, I want to discuss how certain psychological barriers prevent retirees from retiring when they know they can. One of the most powerful emotional traps is the belief that more savings automatically means more certainty. After decades of focusing on accumulation, it can feel almost unnatural to switch gears. The transition from saving to spending challenges deeply ingrained habits and replaces a familiar sense of progress with the discomfort of seeing those assets go down in your account. For many, the act of retiring feels less like achieving freedom and more like stepping off solid ground. I see this all the time in our practice. Even those with millions and millions of dollars struggle that first year as they withdraw their assets before finally accepting that this was what they worked hard for. Another major barrier, and I've talked about this a lot, is identity. Work provides structure, purpose, and social connection. When that disappears, retirees can feel untethered. Without the routines and validation that come from a career, retirement can initially resemble loss, right, instead of freedom. There's also just plain fear of the unknown, market conditions, health changes, longevity risks. Those can outweigh a completely rational assessment of being prepared. This emotional paralysis can be more challenging than any financial obstacle. Decades of saving build mental habits of caution and self-denial that don't simply vanish once the goal is reached. And as the years pass, the cost becomes tangible. The prime years of health, energy, and opportunity slip away, and those are replaced by the comfort of control, the loss of time. Now that you understand these emotional barriers, if you need help with your own retirement plan, click the link below where I've created a detailed video that shows you exactly how to optimize your own plan as a whole. Okay, next let's talk about the health span window that closes during delayed retirement. When people plan for retirement, they often focus on how long they'll live. But what really matters is how long they'll live with good health and energy. This is called your health span, the years when you still feel strong, active, and mentally sharp enough to enjoy the things you've worked so hard for. For most people, that window starts to narrow somewhere between ages 60 and 70. As energy levels drop, the kinds of experiences many retirees look forward to, traveling, hiking, long trips, or just chasing around grandkids, start to feel more tiring or even put out of reach. Even everyday activities can require more rest and recovery than before. Mental sharpness can also change or decline during this time. It's normal to notice that decision-making takes a bit more effort or that trying new things feels less comfortable. This can make once exciting experiences feel stressful instead of enjoyable. There's also the family element to consider. Aging parents may need more care. Siblings face health issues, and grandchildren grow up fast. The chance to make memories together shrinks with every passing year. And that's why delaying retirement can come at a bigger cost than most people realize. You can always make more money, but you can't buy back your health or buy time. The truth is that the best retirement years are the healthy ones. Delaying retirement doesn't just affect you, it affects your whole family. When work takes up the years that could have been spent with children or grandchildren, it changes how close those relationships can become. Working longer can also mean missing the chance to pass on financial lessons or family values while your kids are still learning and building their own lives. Even inheritances lose some of their meaning when they arrive late, after children are already financially comfortable or retired themselves. Like we said, money earned in extra working years can't replace time together. Relationships, memories, and shared experiences are what last, and they require presence, not just money, not just resources. When retirement is delayed too long, those opportunities shrink, and no amount of extra savings can bring them back. Okay, now let's talk about ways around these psychological barriers to retire as soon as possible with a healthy mindset. Again, many people think retiring is about hitting a certain number, but that approach often keeps moving the finish line. What actually builds confidence is having a plan, one that maps out your real expenses, income sources, and goals. A good plan shows how your money holds up in different situations, like market drops or higher spending, so that you can see what's truly sustainable. It helps you understand when to take income, how to handle taxes, and how to stay flexible if life changes, or when life changes. Most people who go through this kind of planning discover that they're ready to retire much sooner than they thought. So instead of chasing a bigger number for false security, they gain clarity from seeing the full picture in front of them. A plan gives you permission to act, to stop preparing endlessly and start enjoying the life that you've worked hard for. I can't tell you how many strategy sessions I've had with clients where they realize they can retire years sooner than they thought, and how much fun they start to have once they leave work. Now that you understand the planning approach, let's look at the retirement readiness assessment that prevents these time regrets. The first step is a complete expense analysis. This means going beyond basic living costs to include healthcare, travel, family support, and legacy goals. By understanding what you'll actually spend, you replace guesswork with facts. Next, evaluate all income sources: Social Security, pensions, rental income, investment withdrawals, savings, etc. Knowing how these pieces fit together creates a clear picture of how your cash flow will support your life. Once the basics are mapped out, it's time to stress test your plan. Model different market conditions like a bear market immediately upon retirement to ward off the sequence of returns risk, higher than expected inflation, and unexpected expenses. Look at how your plan performs if you live 5 or 10 years longer than expected. Seeing how your finances respond to these challenges is what builds real confidence. It shows that your plan can adapt, not that it has to be perfect. Health span and family priorities also need to be part of your equation. Your healthiest years are sadly limited, and no amount of money can buy them back once they're gone. Finally, focus on probability-based planning rather than chasing absolute certainty. A solid plan accepts reasonable risk and includes flexibility for life's inevitable changes. Working with a planner who understands this comprehensive approach, rather than one focused solely on accumulation, helps you see when the numbers and the timing truly align. The goal of a retirement readiness assessment is clarity. When you can see that your plan works across different scenarios and aligns with your health, values, and relationships, confidence replaces fear. That's what prevents the greatest regret retirees express: not running out of money, but running out of time. Now that you understand what 750 retirees regret most about working past 60, and how time regrets, moving goalposts, and emotional paralysis can cost you irreplaceable retirement experiences, you can make informed decisions about your optimal retirement timing. If you'd like help developing a comprehensive retirement readiness assessment that ensures you don't become one of the retirees who says, "I should have retired earlier," click the link below to watch a detailed video I created that walks you through exactly how to plan your dream retirement with confidence.